It is Sunday afternoon, but we are still going strong. We still have an awesome panel ahead of us, and I'm very excited to be here to do it. And just one more minute before we do that. But my name is Aaron Sagers. I'm from Sci-Fi. I'm going to be the host moderator, and I'm excited to see all my fans out here. Who's a fan of Doctor Who? Okay, that means you're in the right room. You're in the right room. Okay, so there's a microphone right down the middle there. This young person is standing at it. Hey there. And wave to everybody. There you are. There he is. So feel free to get in line. Get your questions ready to go. Keep it to one question per person, please, and make it an actual question. And no requests or anything like that, please. And also, man, bust out those cell phones, take pictures, tweet it out, use hashtag MCCC, and we'll probably retweet you as well. So, okay, you guys ready to do this?
Yeah!
All right. So without further ado, of course you know this lovely young woman from the show Penny Dreadful. Of course you know her from Secret Diary of a Call Girl. Of course you should know her. She just won an Olivier Award, which is a very big deal for her play Yerma. And of course you know her as Rose from Doctor Who. Make some noise, Detroit, for Billie!
Good afternoon.
How do you like the sound of that Olivier Award winner, Billie Piper?
Sounds great.
Yeah? Something to put on business cards or something.
Oh, yeah, if I had one, I would.
Yeah, you should make business cards just to put it on.
It's time now to make a business card.
Yeah.
For that sole purpose.
Well, you know, we've got a lot of questions to get through, but one thing that I actually want to start out with is something you can't maybe talk a whole lot about, but you are returning to the role of Rose for the Big Finish audio play.
I was thinking you were going somewhere else with that, but for Big Finish, yes, yeah. I said, oh no, I am doing Big Finish, or rather I've done Big Finish, yeah.
Yes, it's coming out this November 2017. It is, that's what I hear. So,
yeah.
I mean, this is, obviously with the 50th anniversary special, it wasn't quite Rose, so how has it been returning to the true character of Rose?
It was really lovely, actually. It was really nice to I don't know, it was just really nice to be in a room with David and Camille and revisit it in its original sort of format. And I thought it was going to be awkward because, you know, it's so long ago now, but actually all of us just sort of slipped straight back into it, and it was all there, and it was beautiful to be part of. My son came to one of the recordings because he was sick and I didn't have any childcare, so I took him to work. And yeah, he sat there, and it was so cool to be doing that at a point in my life where I've now got an 8-year-old child, and it's just the memory of Rose is just so long ago when life was totally different.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you're a different person. You're further down the road of this journey, and yet you're channeling this character that's existing in the same kind of timeline as before. Was there any difficulty in sort of finding her voice? Like, I
thought that was going to be weird because I thought, I think I don't know, you might disagree, but I feel like my voice has dropped since I played Rose because I was a lot younger, and whether you notice it or not, even in girls, your voice just changes. You know, life changes your voice. So I had to go a bit more up there and sort of slightly revisit that London sound, you know. But it was there, like muscle memory.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, obviously you and David interact and come together at events like this, so it's not as if you haven't seen one another. However, being back in the room in those characters, did you find yourself finding old, I don't know, old jokes or shorthand or things that you kind of went back to?
Yeah. Usually just laughing at someone else's mistakes or mispronunciations. Me being laughed at, and yeah, it was lovely, sort of old habits. It was really funny, and we did 3, so
yeah.
We had a good. And we were doing it with Nick Briggs, who does the voice for the Daleks and Cybermen and various others, and he was there from the very beginning, from the launch, you know, the relaunch of the show. So it was awesome to see him. And of course, just to be with my mum.
Yeah, that's special. I'm looking forward to listening to it. I'm sure you guys are as well.
Yeah, you guys must listen to it. I feel like we need to make it more, I feel like more people need to know about it. So I will do my best to promote that. And you do what you can do.
Definitely. Definitely.
Is it surreal, I'm going to throw it to the audience in a second, but is it surreal that the fandom of Doctor Who is very different in the US as opposed to Britain? And you did an interview with Vanity Fair talking about this Big Finish radio play. Is there any moment of this where you're like, this is kind of surreal that this show that seemed very kind of new in the States when you started doing it is now so big that Vanity Fair cares about this radio play?
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Oh, it's very cool, yeah. I mean, the nerds have won, guys. I mean,
The nerds won, thank God. So, yeah, I think it's, I mean, it must be mad to actually be in that show now with the size that it is and sort of globally. I can only imagine, because it was pretty full on just having that success in the UK, but having that worldwide success. And I only dip in and out of it with conventions and things. But God, it must be, you know, it's a totally different beast now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most certainly. I mean, when you're seeing who should be the next Doctor on the headlines of like major newspapers in the U.S., it really shows that this thing has captured. Yeah, I mean, it really does. It has captured our pop culture conversation.
When do we find out?
I mean, you'd probably find out before. I mean,
I don't find out, and I know people who know.
Well, but those people would probably let you know.
I know, because I spoke to Matt about this, that he knows someone who knows, and when he asked the person who knows, they wouldn't tell him, so he can tell me. That is how, like, crazy secretive this is. But what is the speculation? That it's female, that it's...
There's a lot of conversation about it. I think there's... what are some of the big names?
Billie Atwell.
Wait, one at a time. All right, up
Billie
here.
Atwell.
Oh yeah.
Luther?
Oh my God.
Idris Elba?
Yes.
Idris Elba is not going to be the next Doctor. Sorry. Just because Idris Elba is, you know, he's got a busy plate right now.
He also might be the next Bond, so taking on the Bond and the Doctor.
That would be mind-blowing.
That would blow his mind.
Yeah.
I
would rather see him as Bond over the Doctor, quite honestly. But
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but there's so many names, but it's just like that internet-generated kind of speculation that isn't necessarily rooted in reality or a source.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I thought Helena Bonham Carter would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because she's got that sort of madcap energy, and you know, if you're going to go female, I think she'd be so good at it. You know, sort of Tim Burton-esque would be a great way to go.
Yeah, she taps into that like
really
madness, like yeah. Well, you know, I'm not going to ask you who you think should be the Doctor, but I am curious, like, when you were filming this show, was it a conversation at all between you and David or anyone else about there being a potential female Doctor down the line? Was that even something? because when you were doing it, it was still sort of new in the reintroduction of Doctor Who.
Yeah, when we started out, it was before, you know, this enormous sort of female emancipation in a way. Like it was, I mean, of course, everyone's been emancipated for a while now, but you know what I mean. Now it's a much bigger. You know, gender equality is a massive topic of conversation in the way that it wasn't when we relaunched Doctor Who. We were sort of, you know, my character was the sort of beginning of that. You know, she wasn't the assistant who sort of looked pretty and aided the Doctor. It was like this was a person who was, you know, sort of judged fairly and equally and measured. They needed one another, and that was the first time I think you'd really seen an assistant like that. So that felt like the beginning of that movement. So we didn't even imagine a world where the Doctor was female, you know? It's kind of bonkers, because that was, what, 13 years ago, maybe, or less, something, I don't know, but that just shows you how much in that space of time the world has changed.
Yeah.
Quite rightly.
Most certainly. Well, let me throw it to the audience. I know you have a question right up front. Hi. Yeah.
Hi, darling.
What's your question? Could somebody assist this young person with a mic too? Maybe just dip it down a little bit so you can just, pop it off so we can hear you.
That looks cool.
Do you know what your zodiac sign is?
Say one more time, we didn't catch that up here.
Do you know what your zodiac sign is?
Me, Billie. I'm a Virgo. And the people I love a lot in my life are Virgos too. Yeah, Virgos seem to attract one another.
I'm a Virgo.
I know.
Oh, there you go.
I immediately love you.
Sorry for the rest of you.
Sorry for the other.
I'm representing the Scorpios up here and I'm feeling a little bit wounded. Dangerous.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't think I've ever gotten that
That's
question.
great. I really like answering that.
Thank you.
Darling.
Howdy. How are you?
Good. So I like to write screenplays, and
Good.
I was wondering like how it goes from the script to like acting it out.
How it goes from the so what do you mean?
How you like kind of translate it into your character, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Well, I suppose it's a two-man job, you know, because the writer creates often pretty much solely creates the character on the page, and then the actor, if you hire the right actor, you might not want this kind of actor, but if you hire the right actor, that actor is going to bring their spirit to it. So it's all there until you get the spirit of the person, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, essential collaboration. And neither one is more important than the other. They're both very, very key. So if you get a good team, you're sort of golden there. It's very cool that you're writing your own stuff. Do you want to act in your own stuff?
I wouldn't really, I'm not that good of an actress.
Okay.
I like to write it.
Well, it's very cool that at this age that you know what your strengths are, because that's a really important thing. And you know, there are some of us who go, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. Some people can, but quite often, you know, it's worth playing to your strengths. So, well, good luck.
Good luck. Well, you know, she was asking, like, it's an interesting process question, because when you get a script, do you first kind of just read through it just to get the story, and then the next pass you're like focusing on character? Sort of what is your process when you get that script?
I always look at the character straight away, because I think quite often it's hard, because it's very hard to imagine the entire piece without the director, without all of the components in play. But the first thing you're going to know just by looking at the shape of your character is if you are actually able to bring anything to that role. So I do it in that order. and that takes moments. You know, it's an immediate connection, or it's not that sort of. And the further down the line you get, it's so much easier to go, I get that, I'm there, or I can't do that. That comes from knowing who you are and what you're able to do, and the confidence that comes with years of working. So that's the way I do it.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
I just want to tell you that I love Rose because even though she's an ordinary girl, like she still does extraordinary things, and I think I take that to heart a lot. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And I love you. Just so my question is, what was different between working with Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant?
What was the what different?
What was different?
So many things. You know, they're totally different people. The fact that with Chris, we were relaunching the show, so the pressure was totally different. It was greater, I'd say. We didn't know which way it was going to go, and lots of us were doing these things for the first time. So you know, all of those things, they're totally different energies. It's quite amazing that they play the same part because, you know, in spirit they're very, very different men. Both incredible actors. And they work very differently. They work totally differently. So it was a wonderful learning curve because I was right at the beginning of my acting career, and I was acting alongside two of our best male actors in the UK. You know, so that was pretty cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Yeah, there you go.
Go on, girl.
Yeah, she's got it.
What was your hardest scene while being Rose?
What was my
Hardest scene while being Rose?
Any scene where I had to say a really tricky word. So, there's lots of those. I found the Doomsday episode pretty hard for obvious reasons. It was pretty emotional, but I loved it as well, and it felt like more real than anything I've ever done, anything I had done, and sort of anything I've done since. And that was like saying goodbye to a friend in reality, because I find it hard to separate the two. Yeah, I found that quite tricky.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Dan.
you. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
What is it like to film The Day of the Doctor with Matt Smith and David Tennant combined?
It was awesome. Oh my God, it was mad. It was like buying a really expensive ticket to a really good show, and actually being allowed to sit on the set and touch the actors and have coffee with them. You know, I felt like a fan when we were filming that. In a way, I feel like there should have been more fan set visits that day, because it would have been a fan, meltdown. Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, and for you, you're working. I mean, it's work alongside like two friends, you know?
Yeah, and also it's hard. I was a bit like, oh God, is this going to be like, you know, is there going to be any level of competition between them? And they're both my friends, and it's like having kids where you can't praise one without praising the other. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're lovely, but you're lovely too. You did that really well. So did you. Felt a bit like that. Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have been at all aware of that because they were having such a blast themselves, you know.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Rose. I just want to say I'm Leo.
I love it. You've
love
always got the Sonic. I've seen you solidly with your Sonic.
I already have somebody I really love. So.
Come closer to the mic, my darling.
There we are. My question is, what do you think of the new character in the new season, Bill?
Say that again.
What do you think the companion named Bill in the new season?
Yeah. So, what do you think about the new companion on the show? But I mean, you're a pretty busy person. I don't even know if you've gotten a chance to watch new episodes.
No.
No
If I'm
spoilers. Just
if I'm honest, I haven't seen any of the new stuff. And what I'd really like to do is wait till my kids are into it. I'm really hoping that will happen soon. And then we can start, you know, maybe where I started, and then I've got episodes to sort of look forward to and watch with them for the first time. Yeah, I'm really hoping that day comes soon.
Yeah. However, what's interesting about, even if you haven't really been able to see the episodes, there is, you're part of this club, you know, of even though it's existed for, you know, 54 years coming up on, like, it's a pretty small club, you know? And I'm sure that if you were, you know, you probably understand what the actor Pearl Mackie is going through as far as taking on that role of the companion and the pressure and the things that someone has to go through as a member of that club. Like, that's...
It's pretty stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty stressful, and it's like nothing else you'll ever do, and it's a long job as well, and it's a lot of work. But I think everyone seems to really dig her.
Yeah.
Like, that seems to be a universal, she seems to be a universal appeal. So that's good, isn't it? And people are finding her funny and stuff, and, you know, so, gosh, it's great, you know, good for her.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to say thank you. I love you, Rose.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi, darling.
So, my question is what would the best genre be for someone who is wanting to become an actor for their first, like, TV show to be? Like, what would be the best genre?
Interesting question. That's a really good question. Well, I say always go into the deep end first. That would be, I think life is good when you do that. And so let me think, what genre is the deep end? Well, yeah, sci-fi is pretty deep. Sci-fi is a reach, you know. There's a lot of greater understanding of script you need. It's a very physical task. You often need to learn stunts and need to hone your emotional stuff as well. But then I'm saying that because that's what I did. That's all I know, to do that. I think that's a really, because also you're covering so many things. Like, even though it's sci-fi and Doctor Who, you do comedy, you do, you know, like I said, the emotional stuff, you do CGI, you know, all of those technical things that is essential to learn as an actor nowadays because you do so much of it. Stage fighting, you know. I did way more, it was more varied as a job than any other job I've done. You know, if I hadn't have done Doctor Who, Penny Dreadful would have seemed really, really taxing. Often you're working with prosthetics and stuff as well, and that's a whole other life, you know.
Yeah, well, and when you're doing something, as a new actor, when your first big gig is Doctor Who, you're having to see things that are not there. You're having to, you know, bounce off of things, react to things that don't exist. That
I always think that would be the DVD extra I would want.
Yeah.
Is everyone doing the work without the monsters animated? Like that with the tennis ball, with the green screen, just that would be a wonderful DVD extra because it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, without all of the stuff in there, it's just ridiculous.
Well, I don't know if I've asked you this before, but that experience, though, as a newer actor, then when you transition to the stage, was that helpful training in a way? Because you are borrowing from that, you're seeing a world around you that is not always there.
Very good, yeah. I mean, I think for any actor starting out, it is more likely that you'll do theatre before you do stage and screen, and I think that there's a reason for that, and that's a good way to go about it. You know, if you're at drama school, if you're just doing local drama classes, everything you do will be play-based, and you'd be studying the text of great playwrights and stuff. And I think that's essential, because I think that's where you learn to be a technical beast, you know. And also you learn very basic things about intentions and what you're trying to do to someone, and how to make someone, you know, how to make someone do something, and how to be in your body and be physical, because the stage demands that of you. So I would definitely urge everyone to stick with it in that way.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not the end of the world if you don't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Joe.
Hi.
One thing I wanted to ask is, one of the more striking things in your performances that emerged immediately when I was watching, particularly just speaking Who language, the first season, like on Father's Day, and then, as you mentioned, Doomsday, is your ability to channel really intense, raw emotion. Among the many things you bring as a phenomenal performer, I mean, just it's something that as a viewer, I feel it. I mean, like it's believable, it's realistic. I mean, like the Doomsday goodbye is just absolutely soul crushing. Like, how do you channel that? What techniques do you use to achieve that? And is it difficult stepping away from that when the shooting day is done?
Thank you. I don't know, I think that I'm a really emotional person, so I find it's sort of easy to, not always, and quite often, if it's not there on the page, it's really hard to do. You know, it's a testament to the writer, really, in the first place. So I read Doomsday, and I sort of cried as I read it. I mean, but that Doomsday was easy for me because, in a way, I was literally saying goodbye to someone, and that was desperately sad. So, so that made it. I don't know. I just was there. And with the Father's Day thing, I just imagine what that would feel like, and it really makes me. I'm pretty porous as a person. Like, I'm really sensitive, and so my dad used to say I cried all the time as a kid, you know, so I'm clearly in the right profession. That's sort of what I tend to do. I also use music so much to get myself in the right space. So if I've got to do an emotional scene on the way to work, I'll just put my headphones on and listen to a selection of really bleak tunes. Or tunes that meant something to me emotionally, you know. That's what I do. I really cut myself off from other people as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, Billie. My name is Jacob, and I wanted to ask you, of all the gambit of the worlds that you had the chance to visit, even though they were green screened or tennis balls, which was your favorite adventure to tackle, or your favorite mystery to solve and world to see?
I loved doing Tooth and Claw, because that felt like a real romp, like that felt like a farcical play or something. It was just so funny, basically because we'd just been chased around. And you know, when you're chased, you just laugh all the time. Like, if I chase my kids, they just laugh.
Yeah.
Probably it's not that threatening, but you know, it just created a great energy, and it had enormous comedic value, that episode, I thought. And New Earth did as well. That was, you know, that was really, really fun to shoot. And it was a different thing to what we'd done on Doctor Who before. So I think if I'm going emotional episodes, I really loved Father's Day and Doomsday, and if I'm going for like comedic challenges, it would be those guys. Also, it's really cool to stay in one location, because I hate moving around. So Tooth and Claw was in a castle for like 7 days, and it was just awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
What world or sandbox have you yet to play in that you really want to kind of visit? You know, either genre or time period or anything.
I'd love to do like a musical movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, I loved dancing as a kid. Like, I wanted to either be an actress or be a dancer, and I think I would love to do a movie where there's dance.
What kind of musical, like a rock opera, a traditional kind of like Rodgers and Hammerstein, what kind of musical? What's your favorite?
I'd actually like to do like old Hollywood.
Old Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah, just something really soaring and glorious, and you know. But then Moulin Rouge was such a wonderful, you know, interpretation as well. Less of the rock, yeah. So I mean, just that sort of stuff. It'd be so cool.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, I'm Caitlin.
You look great.
Thank you. I have two quick questions. One, what was your favorite like storyline or episode you filmed or did as Rose Tyler? And
well, the ones I just said before, like the Doomsday and the Father's Day, for the emotional side of things and for the domestic and reality, and then the Tooth and Claw and what did I say, New Earth for the comedic ones.
Cool.
And my second question is, which doctor was it better for you to like work with, or which one did you like better? David.
It's kind of
a... If you guys ever watch these like back on YouTube, these interviews, you must know my answer to this, but like, David. No, I don't. I think they're both great. They're just different, aren't they? And also working with David was like I said, a totally different experience because the show had been a massive success. So everyone was like, and it meant we could just, you know, mess around a bit more.
It's a longer journey. I mean, you spent more time, you know, working with David as well. You know, so that bond was able to be forged a little bit longer and deeper.
Yeah, yeah. And also, there's a different energy that comes with a success.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, yeah, we're killing it. Everyone loves it. The confidence makes everyone so happy, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that created more sort of space for us to play around.
Certainly. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
So here's the deal, guys. So we're kind of out of time. However, if you could do sort of yes/no questions, lightning round, we can try to burn through a couple of them. So if you agree to this, we will try. No more people in line at this point, but we can get through you guys. Okay? Cool. You agree?
My question was like, what was your favorite monster from Doctor Who?
Favorite monster?
All right. Favorite monster?
Oh no. Favorite monster.
You have to play with this as well. You're terrible at lightning round.
I know, but the minute I know we've got to go at speed, I'm just like, oh my god, brain dead. Well, I really like the Ood. They're not really a monster. They're kind of monstrous. They're kind.
They count. They count. Okay, cool. All right, lightning round. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I'm your mummy.
Go.
I was going to ask what your favorite episode of Penny Dreadful was.
Probably at the end of series 2 with the creature, where I unveil my darkness and superhuman strength. Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
So yes or no question real quick.
Or just anything.
Well, you talked earlier about like when you read a script, you go character-based. So when you read for Penny Dreadful, did you know that Bruno was going to have such a huge role in series 3?
Yes.
Like such an important
I did. I was told that by John Logan over lunch. As I sort of went, oh, I love Bronacroft, but where is this going? And he said, you're going to be the Bride of Frankenstein. I was like, cool, done.
Yeah. Thank you. She was phenomenal in series 3. She was everything.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Next.
So obviously you've already worked with Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant. So I was just wondering, would you rather work with Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi for another season?
Matt Smith, because Matt's like my best buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi.
Hey.
I was just curious, have you, after you were done playing a character like Lily or Rose, have you ever thought about what the characters are doing after the series is over with?
No. No, I I don't. But I'm sure the writers do, and the fans certainly do. Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
Oh,
Little Luke Skywalker.
you hold it, buddy.
Are there any hard tasks?
Any hard tasks?
Say it one more time. Are
Are
there
there any hard tasks?
any hard tasks?
Is that what you're saying?
Is that
What, just in life?
that's
There are many hard tasks in life.
Stunts.
Huh?
Hard stunts.
Stunts.
Oh, stunts. Let me think. The problem with me in stunts is that I get too into it. So when I had to hit, you probably haven't seen Penny Dreadful because it's not age appropriate.
God, I hope not.
But in Penny Dreadful, I have to beat up this guy. And so my issue with stunts is just going too far. Obviously I can't do the jumps and all that stuff, there's someone to do that. But I tell you what was really hard, in the beginning of Penny Dreadful I have to be underwater and look dead, so I can't let any bubbles come out of my nose. Try doing that in the bath. For ages, and also because your body wants to float, but I couldn't, so I had to like curl my feet into this copper grate and do that for 12 hours. That was pretty hard. Hard stuff.
Good job.
Good job, buddy.
Good question. All right, real quick.
I'm a little bit like shy when I like talk to people, and I was wondering, is it easy to get along with the directors and other people on set?
If they're nice, yeah. If they're not, no. If they're not, it's harder than. I mean, it's like if you have a bad boss, it's just like the worst thing. And I've definitely had a few very challenging people in this profession, and it's really tough, you know. You've got to, at times like that, I'll just remove myself and hang out with the people that are a bit more chilled. You know, it's the sort of same advice I give to my kids at school. If there's someone being, you know, like just move away and hang with someone else. Good luck.
Thank you. Good question.
Good
Hi.
question.
It's like watching like the other like companions like Donna and Amy and Clara. Who's your favorite? Do you have any?
Of the assistants.
They're just like the companions.
I really love Amy Pond. I really think she's awesome. I really love all of them, but
Of course. I mean, it's like I said, it's a very exclusive club that she's a part of. Do you need some water?
I'm fine. I think she's awesome. I think she's got the right combination of comedy and emotion, and but I think they're all just brilliant. And it's a really tough job, and it's a lot of work. So I take my hat off to all of them, really.
Okay, and last but certainly not least, hello.
Hi.
Hi, darling.
How did you get the chance to act in Doctor Who?
I just auditioned for it. Someone sent me the script through my agent. And just like normal auditions, you just go in, you do your interpretation of the role, and it went well, and which is always a relief. And then I went and met Christopher Eccleston and did it with him. And who are you dressed as?
Night.
Huh?
The Ninth Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice, yeah. Very good looks. All right, guys, so that brings us to the end of a Doctor Who panel with Billie Piper. However, you guys can go see her at her table, so go get those last-minute signings and all that good stuff.
Thank you.